And we then reached out to the health department, or the health department reached out to us, and we decided to have a joint meeting. The joint meeting basically gave everyone the, after looking at the facts, we all decided that we should make a presentation from the health department and the environmental council to the mayor council. And basically the meat of the problem was that after talking to our people from our wildlife management people, TICA, our population was about 4 times the size that it should be in town. We started looking at researching all the towns similar to ours, Basking Ridge, Mendham, very similar towns all over New Jersey, and to see what type of programs they had in place. What we found out is that most of the towns are way ahead of us. They do have deer management programs in place. They started years ago. We took that information, then we proceeded to spread out into different areas, East Hampton, New York, Southampton, towns that spent extensive amounts of money. Southampton spent $175,000 on their research, East Hampton $160,000. And the towns that participated in New Jersey did it on a regular basis. They actually had a deer management committee permanently formed. So with that, we, Dr. Carpenter from the health department and Chairman Laviano, we made our presentation. We decided to form a wildlife committee, which basically essentially was all the members of the health and environmental and some citizens. And we made the recommendation to the council that some type of a hunting situation should be put into place. Our initial recommendation to the council was that it should be done by very qualified people, such as a bull hunting organization or club. And number 2, it should be only on the large parcels of land where it could be controlled and it could be less invasive to the citizens in town. So that was the essence of our findings, and that was presented to the council, which then led to the ordinance presentation that we're here for tonight.
Mr. Laviano, would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah, I'd just like to add that this issue arose for me 3 years ago. I've lived in town for 30 years. Never really had an issue. I mean, you see deer around occasionally, but 3 years ago, the problem obviously grew out of hand. You started seeing deer dead on the road all over the place. You started seeing multiple deer dead on Route 17. Every place you look, and the issue when I started looking into it as chairman of the Environmental Commission, whose responsibility is, as the Environmental Commission, is to ensure the well-being and preserve the beauty of our town, ensure the quality of life that we have in town. I went down to the Hillsborough conference that was put on for deer management awareness, and I was overwhelmed. What I saw down there and what they presented, and what the deer are doing to our environment, what they're doing to our woods, to our native trees, plants. The native understory is disappearing. It's pretty much gone in Bergen County because of the deer. So what happens is they're replaced by invasive plants, mostly barberry and multiflora rose. They're destroying our environment. And then the issue of health concerns with deer, tick-borne diseases, the traffic accidents. We decided something has to be done. If we don't do anything, it's just going to continue to get worse. And it's, I've heard arguments that it's inhumane to hunt deer with a bow and arrow. It's inhumane to let things go on the way they are. To have deer, you know, injured and crawl off into the woods and get eaten by coyotes, and then now we're having a coyote problem. It's not going to get better. And so we decided that, you know, we looked into all the issues and the ways of handling this, and you know, it's pretty cut and dry. The only effective way to do it, and without, you know, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, is bow hunting, which goes on all across the state. I mean, Bergen County is unique in that they don't have bow hunting, in you know, with the exception of Oakland and Mahwah. So it's, you know, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're doing something that works in a lot of other communities, works in Greenwich, Greenwich, Connecticut, works in Westchester County. Very effective, so that's why we came up with this recommendation.
Okay, Dr. Carpenter, do you have anything to add to that?
The overpopulation is to such a degree now. We have about 40 deer per square kilometer. And in order to reduce the incidence of Lyme disease, you need to reduce that to 8. I looked at a number of studies done, commissioned by the town of East Hampton, where they have the same problem, where they allow hunting all the time. To get rid of the Lyme disease, a study in New Haven at Yale said that you had to get them down, the population down to 8 per square kilometer. Bow hunting will get it down to 14, both in East Hampton and Bedminster and in Mendham. But that's a good start. It takes years to do it. It doesn't just happen like overnight. You don't just authorize hunting and then a year later you go from 40 to 14. It takes years, I mean, all these communities to get down to that number. And you're still not going to get to the numbers where you're going to eliminate Lyme disease, but at least you're going to reduce the traffic accidents and the exposure and maybe the coyote population and the destruction of the forest.
Thank you. By the way, just as a clarification too, the letter that the residents of Saddle River have received was signed by these 3 individuals because they are the lead people in the wildlife management community, not me.
I am listening just like you were. Now I'd like to open it to the public, but first, I would like to have